good evening from the heart of flyover country. It's time to play Without Rule of Law. I'm your master of ceremonies, Bobby Spags, here to introduce you to our undisputed, world-renowned, top-secret panel. Riverside Will! And your host, Patrick Henry! And now it's time to play Without Rule of Law, the card game that gets you navigating the unthinkable and asks, can you brave a world beyond law? Take it away, Patrick Henry.
Oh, hello. Well, hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome from YouTube land. We're in our studio bunker this evening, and as you can tell, we have a special edition of Without Rule of Law for you this evening. Obviously, to my left is the one and only MC and VP of the MPP, the Ayatollah of Rock and Rolla himself, Bobby Spagnola.
It gets longer every time he says it.
You know what? It's like cream corn. It never gets old. And, obviously we have, hello, little hobbits, the one and only Peter Parker of Kansas City, Riverside Will. Hey!
Wizards of stoners.
Just so you know, that is not tobacco in Gandalf's pipe, folks.
Hey.
Don't ask us how we know. Whoever Will works for, we're sorry. We apologize. He's really not that bad. It is tobacco. We're kidding. As you can tell, we have some special guests in the studio this evening. I don't know if you guys can see them. Can you guys see them? Everybody see them? Oh, love the Spags. Oh, yes. I love these.
What's up, Rebecca? How are you?
Well, Rebecca. Hey, Rosie's in the house. Bearded Bluster's in the house. Who is that?
What is that?
That guy's weird. I don't know, but he's weird. He probably smells funny.
I don't know. Hey, Angelica. Hi, Miss Angelica. We kidnapped your husband and his ride or die.
Sorry, I'm at home, honey.
Yes. He's actually working, so...
working!
Yes, he's working. Julie's in the house. Matt Hummus is in the house.
Hey.
Everybody, I would like to introduce our welcome and esteemed guest this evening to the Without Rule of Law. In studio this evening, I have, directly across from me, the one and only Kyle Benoit, not related to Chris Benoit, but also probably a good wrestler. We also have the Todd Maury. The
message.
Yes. And then obviously the coolest dude in the room is the only guy wearing a true Hawaiian shirt. The one and only Brian Straley. All right. So quick introduction for you guys that don't know these gentlemen. So real quickly, tonight, again, we're joined by these two men. It's interesting. We dropped some hints earlier on in the week, kind of talking about who we were going to have in the studio. And I kind of dropped some hints in there. You guys should have been able to figure this out. But as smart as you all are out there in YouTube land, you should know this by now. But so Kyle is known at our festivals as the Knife Man, and he brings his edge, literally and figuratively, to preparedness. I know it's cheesy, right? Well, Brian brings the hard-earned perspective of a man who has seen what disaster looks like up close. Why?
Because he's my friend.
Because he's his friend. That's what they do.
Well said. I've held his beard over the toilet.
It's a true story, folks. Don't ask us how we know. But together, these gentlemen, they don't just fix roofs. They help fortify our communities. They're standing up the Lee's Summit Mutual Assistance Group in MAG down in Lee's Summit, Missouri. If you're in the Kansas City metro area, look them up on Facebook. They've got a YouTube page, a Facebook page, and a website up and going. Just leesummitmag.com.
Yes, sir.
So look those up. Hey, Sam Russell's in the house tonight.
Hey, Sam.
We'll get all of those links dropped in the comment section for you guys that are a little slow on the keyboard. Sweet wizard hat. Yeah, that's right. It's a wizard hat.
Wizard people.
And then obviously the Todd. The Todd's been with us for a long time.
Yeah,
Todd does a lot of our PA and sound stuff. He's also one of the event coordinators at the festival. Without Todd, we would all be lost. He's kind of like I don't know, who would he be in Lord of the Rings?
I don't know, but without Todd, I would be eating a lot more cough drops at the festivals because I would not have a mic or a sound system, and it would be back to the days of Command Hand Army Bobby, and that sucks.
If you guys have never attended a festival where Bobby is yelling at a megaphone, you've missed
I used to have a
it.
megaphone that I spoke into pointed down, but we had no PA system.
You've not lived until you've seen Bobby with a
Antifa
megaphone. Yeah,
rally.
man, in the house. Seventh Stone. I like that name, Seventh Stone. Sam Russell, you are the man, the myth, and the legend. Sam has the coolest hair on any dude I know.
He's got a great beard.
Facts.
Angela's comment.
Yes, what's up, Paps? And this is it's Titus. Titus is in the house tonight,
No
Dad.
way.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Titus.
What's up, buddy?
Hey,
Good to see you, Titus. So again, brush your teeth, do your homework. Sam Russell, no homo. That qualifies it, right? You have the coolest hair out there, bro. Just saying. Okay, so again, we are here this evening, obviously, to play the illustrious Without Rule of Law, the game that keeps you guessing whether your buddy is going to take advantage of your wife, whether or not your kids are going to do the right thing in the apocalypse, or whether or not your mag is going to survive when the poop hits the fan. I guess we can say shite. When the shite hits the fan, right?
Yes, the shite.
Okay,
Yes.
shite it is. So, what are you saying there, Sam? I am all of those things, and I deadlift. Dude, bro, that's a
Nice.
new best. Like, I knew you were hitting like 390.
405 is fire.
405. Man, that is like the 405.
Talk to me when you're at 406.
Oh, those are rookie
Challenging
numbers,
stuff.
Sam. You gotta pump those numbers up, bro. Those are rookie numbers.
Bring it on.
Congratulations, though. That is outstanding. Hey, look, the Todd's in the studio. Okay, so
How's that? No, Todd's right there.
I know it's the magic of
The internet lies, folks. It's fake. It's magic. It doesn't exist.
This is alternate reality. The Todd that is talking.
Yeah,
So
Todd.
from the multiverse, he has more hair on his face
Yes.
In this universe.
in this,
In this
universe.
universe.
Yes. Okay, so we're gonna
Yeah.
get started this evening. We have an action-packed evening for you guys. I picked some really, really nice cream corn. I mean, not cream corn.
Can you just
Without Rule of Law cards out of the deck for you. This is not cream corn, by the way. This is not the cream corn you're looking for. Move along. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna roll with the punches this evening. So, who should we start with?
1, 2, 3, the Todd.
1, 2, 3, the
Do
Todd.
the Todd, not it.
Oh wow! So you gotta go like this. Oh, Brian lost. Brian lost.
Not quick enough.
We're going to Brian first.
Oh,
Mr. Brian.
Veto.
Mr. Straley. Okay, Brian, this is a good one. Actually, it's going to be an easy one. I'm going to start you off with an easy one. Since you guys
Appreciate
are
that.
without Rule of Law virgins in the studio, we're
That
going
is
to
true.
your cherries, fellas. So,
Appreciate that.
after years of repairing roofs post disasters, what's the thing you fortify in your own house when without Rule of Law hits?
Hmm. You know,
Like the roofs are good.
yeah,
Pending the roofs are good. Yes.
pinning the roofs are good.
Yep.
I honestly think that it starts with the minds of my family, like
Ooh.
their thoughts,
Okay.
because there's going to be lots of noise, there's going to be lots of chaos, and to be able to get their minds prepared, I think is what's going to get us through it.
Nice.
So it's not the actual structure.
So get the wife, get the kids like mentally prepared,
Yes.
geared up. So that's interesting. So it just says fortify. It doesn't qualify what that fortification
Yes,
is.
sir.
I love where you took that. That is the sign of a thinking man. I don't know who's paying him, but you should probably pay him more.
Not me.
7% raise by 2028.
Here's
Whoa!
that.
You see what I did there? All right. So that was a good answer.
You
Good
get
answer. Fantastic answer. We will move to Mr. Peter Parker of Kansas City, Riverside, Will.
Oh boy.
All right, Will. This is an easy one, but it is a fantastic one. I picked out some good ones for you because normally I take it easy on you, right? I
Yeah.
give Will all the easy questions.
Honestly, you should make it harder. Honestly.
Okay.
Well, he's got a roof on his head, so we've already got that
Yeah,
covered.
I got the wizard hat now. I got to prove it.
Was he Slytherin or?
Oh, well, he's
I don't read those books. I don't know.
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff, yeah, Hufflepuff.
If I had to guess, he's a Gryffindor. Gryffindor.
Oh, they're the good guys, we think.
All right, so
Black beard.
Mr. Gandalf,
He dies it.
in a without rule of law world, does the friendly neighborhood guy still survive, or does the nice guy finish last?
So there's when you say friendly neighborhood, nice guy, I kind of would think of those as two different types of people. The archetype of like the friendly neighborhood person, of an individual who is helping their community, who is helping the people around them, who's being useful, who's being an asset, I think they would survive. That kind of nice guy stereotype of a person who is relatively useless, but they are using this empathetical idea of being nice as a methodology of leeching off of other people would not survive. So it depends. Is it a nice person who's somewhat kind to others and is charitable, or is it a person who is just surviving off of other people's empathy?
That's
In
a
the
great
first
one.
case, they would survive. In the latter, no. I don't think they would, because at some point you can't survive in a situation wherein resources are limited and people are hungry and starving and lacking resources. You're not surviving off of other people's empathy for as long as you may anticipate.
That's such a great answer.
That is a
Yep.
good answer.
Will is like one of the most analytical dudes I've ever met, and this is why we pay Will the big bucks. Will, how much are we paying you? Never mind. Don't answer
Wait,
that.
what?
A lot, so much, so
Oh,
much
yeah.
respect and kindness.
Yes, fantastic answer, my friend. As always, Will does not disappoint. I feel sorry for which one of you guys is going to go next.
The Todd. Call upon the Todd.
Hold on.
Call down the fire.
One more time.
Oh, too slow.
The knees. It's in the knees.
You know what? Normally, I save these for the latter part of the show, but in lieu of Ground Fog being in the Ground Fog was one of the first commenters on this live stream tonight.
Yep.
So I think you got first, Ground Fog. We're going to roll with the Todd in a bonus question, not a boner question, a bonus question.
They can be the same.
They could be the same, but I'll have to tell you later what's the difference between each. And anyways, so the Todd, a 2012 Ice Age collapse is the motif of this particular question. So in the movie 2012, the world freezes over, cities crumble, and the only a chosen few make it into the arcs that the governments around the world built to save the elites that paid billions of dollars, like the Russian boxer. All the people that paid money to get into the arcs, the lizard people. But you, forever, whatever reason, Todd, in a real world without rule of law Ice Age scenario, do you believe that society would secretly reserve salvation for the elite, or could grassroots groups like the Midwest Preparedness Project become humanity's true arcs?
No pressure.
Okay, well, that's a good question. Well, I think it depends on how bad. I mean, if you're talking the 2012 type thing, those arcs were there because they were going on the ocean to survive. So if you got a preparedness group, depends, I guess, locality, what they've done for preparedness. But I think it really comes down to the group. Depends, I guess. Oh,
Sorry about that. I got a notification. See that?
but I think it comes down to, like, if you got a good group, you got a good area, and you've got the right criteria set up, I think you'd be okay. But in 2012, if I remember correctly, that movie, you actually had arcs that would actually went into the ocean, and because the whole world essentially had a catastrophic flood. And in that case, I don't care what you did, unless you were part of the elite or had some way of getting on one of those arcs, you're going to probably be toast anyways, unless you're, somewhere like a higher up mountain that was not affected, maybe upper part, maybe the Appalachians or something like that. So
Yeah.
In my viewpoint, I think you're pretty much going to be toast unless you were. I mean, I just don't see how. I mean, if you got a catastrophic flood like that, because basically that's the reason to have everything shifted, everything flooded. So I mean, Noah's Ark essentially. So
with that much water, if you were on the very top of an Appalachian mountain, you still freeze to death most likely. That's some cold bush there, man.
Well, speak for yourself. I think I'm going to survive. I'm just saying.
okay,
He went to Walmart and got the 1999 inflatable raft. He's out there
I get
as
that.
the waves coming at him.
I told you
got
this. I'm going to put on my Snoopy life vest. Like I've got my Coleman cooler.
There you go.
Like
Good.
I got my
I
electric
fall on the silver, I'll be fine.
Like
And Ozark Trail your way out. There's something about 30
I'm
people.
going to start traveling with all
I got the weenie roaster.
that. Just so you guys know out there in the audience this evening, me and my can of cream corn will be just fine.
Wow.
Why is he?
You get it back.
Oh, all right.
I have a death wish against canned cream corn. It's the worst thing on the planet.
Oh, sorry.
I mean,
Okay.
This becomes a gag.
I really didn't have a good answer.
Yeah.
That was a great answer. That was a great answer, Todd. Anybody else want to jump on that grenade? Anyone else want to field that one? That's a bonus question, so feel free. You want me to read it again?
Yes.
So, in a without rule of law Ice Age scenario, do you believe society would secretly reserve salvation for the elite and their arcs? Or would the Midwest Preparedness Project, Lee Summit, or MAGs, would that become humanity's true arc?
I think when you talk about elite and billionaires, there's a lot of greed involved, and no love and no patience and no peace. So I think as a preparedness group, being spiritually connected, I think that we would be prepared. So we might not have the biggest boat, but we're going to have a boat.
Huzzah.
We're going to make it.
I love that.
The elite will eat themselves without AOC to wear a dress to tell them to do it.
Or we will eat them.
Or we will eat them.
You know what? It's going down. You heard it. Long pork. That ass bacon ain't going to cut itself.
Season 2's coming. So excited.
That was a Fallout reference. Just calm down. Calm down. Filipinos don't really eat long pork. Still.
I got two things. First, how can you get more information about MPP? Midwest Preparedness, look it up on your browser. You will find a website, Midwest Preparedness Project. You can find everything you need there. If you want to join us and talk to this community, the Discord is a great place to go. Saw that comment in there. Figured we should hammer that out real quick because if you're looking for that resource, go after it. Other thing on arcs and on the idea of with the communities in almost all disaster scenarios. I mean, I haven't seen the movie 2012. I know I'm terrible for that, but I haven't seen it. Presumably someone survives. Like in every scenario, someone survives. Now, even people who are not necessarily prepared for exact situation, scenario, whatever, people who are generally prepared will tend to survive. So a group like Midwest Preparedness Project would be the ones who take on potentially people who are in need, who need help, and who are building the community, developing community, growing community. That would happen. It naturally occurs almost every disaster, regardless of what caused it, no matter how it happened. It almost always occurs. The likelihood of it being someone like MPP is higher just due to the fact that we are prepared. We are ready. We have those resources, and we've already thought these things through. We're game planning it. We're doing this, right? So yes, I think it's very probable that someone like MPP would be that person, would be that group.
I agree with you, Will. I tend to side with you. It's not my place to answer the questions in this particular game, but I'd have to say that is a fantastic analogy. And I do tend to agree that I think the path that we blaze before us is the trail that those will follow when it is their time and no longer ours. And it is these legacies that we're building today that will light the way like the city on the hill. Great answer, Will. Great answer. Mr. Benoit.
Yes.
Do you think the post-collapse America will be rebuilt by tradesmen who can fix things or by warriors who can fight, kill, and destroy for it?
I think it all comes down to how purple their hair is.
My man's.
I think
Well, you don't have to.
You got hair.
Okay.
You got hair, bro.
we'll throw it on the beard.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a great question. Actually, Brian and I have had versions of this conversation with some of our guys because the majority of us are either blue collar or unhinged. And man, it's a tough scenario. I think there would have to be a lot of cooperation together. I think about certain parts of season 4 and 5 of The Walking Dead. When they're in a town, they finally have the walls up and they get a slight reprieve.
Sanctuary.
Is that the section? Yeah,
Yep.
Sanctuary. I think about that a
Good
lot,
memory.
more than all the other seasons of that show. Sanctuary, all the human organization and government dynamics come back into play, and the hierarchies and the egos and the stealing. So, Patrick, I think it's a combination of if you have warriors who are sharp but humble, and if you have blue collar workers who are going to get compensated fairly to share those skills, I really think it's going to come down to a combination of the both. And I think you'll have the variance of military compounds continuing to raid and pirate for resources and stealing the people they need for those technical skills. And then you'll have other compounds of groups of people, tribes that are a lot of blue collar working people trying to build up infrastructure to guard against. But I think the true winners at the end of the day are going to be the people who have that mix of skill.
I love that. I love your Walking Dead analogy. I have a lot of sentiment about that as well. I think, it's like we talk about at every single one of the festivals when we're hanging out together, by day 4, day 5, we all smell the same. Like no one notices, that like Todd's not wearing deodorant, like, cause none of us are. Like, it's pretty cool. We all smell like, campfire and bacon and,
And burnt sweet corn.
Yes, apparently burnt cream corn. Because
cream corn does get the odor.
But that's exactly it. I think I agree with you. I tend to agree with you. It's going to be a mixture of the warriors and the builders and those guys collaborating to rebuild society. Because at this table, I see both. Huzzah!
Yes.
Good answer. Good man. Look at this. See, are you not entertained? Look what we're doing here. Get out of here. You're welcome. Okay, Senior Spags.
Yes, sir.
In a world without rule of law, the ultimate form of freedom is a world without rule of law the ultimate form of freedom, or is it a fast track to a Mad Max barbarism style life?
There is no freedom without morals. Without morals, you have what's called license, not liberty. And so I would absolutely make the point that in a world without the rule of law, depending on who you surround yourself with, who you choose to surround yourself with, if you surround yourself with barbarism, you're going to have barbarism, which leads to no freedom. If you surround yourself with people of upright moral character, and I'm not trying to plug any particular brand there, but if you have people who have a specific set of morals and you live by those morals, you will survive. And this ties into the answer that Kyle just said. Considering which kinds of societies over time survived the roughest periods of human history, it was not the Vikings, it wasn't the Mongols, it wasn't the Moors, it was the British, the French, the German, and ultimately the Americans, because they had moral systems as well as the warrior spirit. It was the warrior civilizations that went away and went extinct, and it was the gentlemanly, let's cooperate and find a moral structure to then build a societal story around that survived. And so I would say that you have no freedom in the world without rule of law. You only have decisions, and the decisions you make will lead to your survivability.
So you're saying it probably is more of a barbarism style life.
It would be, at least initially, sure, until you sorted that out. And pain is the greatest teacher. At some point, we got morals and moral societies out of pain.
Yeah.
And it'll have to happen that way again, because we're pretty damn stupid. Otherwise, we get comfortable, we get stupid, and we forget.
Comfort zone is where everything goes to die. And I agree with him 100%. Pain is the greatest teacher in the world.
Oh, jeez.
Riverside Wheel. Let's go to Little Hobbit or Gandalf. Gandalf Will.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Stop appropriating my culture, sir.
I apologize.
Yeah.
No, I do not. I apologize for nothing. All right. So if Kansas City becomes a no-rule zone overnight, which part of town holds out the longest, and which one burns first?
Oh.
I believe it's gone.
Raytown's gone.
Come on, Will.
Sorry, Will.
What's burning to the ground first, and what's going to hold out to the last? He's like, damn. I mean, Riverside's going to last, right?
No, Riverside's going pretty early, I'm sure.
All right.
Honestly, population density and work your way out, I guess. If you look at the hot spots of population density, it's going to go first. Places like the Plaza, like the shopping centers. Those are going to be the first, because I mean, realistically, look at it like, Summer of Love, when people went and broke windows and burned stuff.
Yep.
Dude, they were smoked.
Mostly people riots or peaceful riots. Mostly
Yeah,
peaceful.
well, mostly peaceful. The fire behind me is indicative of how peaceful it is. But honestly, you could just look at that and go, all right, well, if it burned then, that's going to burn first. Places that are farther away from that nonsense are going to last longer. I think lasting the longest, I can think of a handful of smaller communities that will definitely be very, very. I used the word last time. I have been liking this word recently, anti-fragile, but it's groups of people that are like relatively bulwarked against issues due to their variety of skill sets, the fact that they're linked together both geographically and morally, and that they have a relatively aligned mission so that they can survive. I don't think that there'd potentially be like one exact place that'd be that last holdout. I think there'd be a handful of places that'd be that last holdout.
Conclaves.
What would what would make those places distinct is the fact that they're groups of more than one family. I'd say probably at least 5 families or more that are operating, again, with aligned systems so that they can operate in that environment in the long term.
So what you're saying is that mutual assistance groups matter.
Yes. That's the short of it, yes. But if the Lone Rangers aren't going to survive, the people who live in an apartment who don't know their neighbor who lives 10 feet away from them are not going to make it that long. It's not even necessarily it's consequential, the fact that they don't know people that they are interacting with constantly. And as a result of that, those people are more inclined to do them harm, or at the very least not benefit them. So they don't have that distinct advantage of having almost every interaction, because in those communities, almost every interaction you have on a daily basis is with someone who means you well and who will do well by you given the chance, as opposed to someone who either doesn't know you or intends to do you harm.
Yeah.
Well said.
Man, always the voice of reason.
He's
This
the
one.
wizard.
This is why he's Gandalf the Grey.
He keeps that.
I mean, Gandalf the Multicam.
Yeah.
Fleckthorn. It's
Gandalf
Fleckthorn.
Flecktarn, actually, but
Hey, Groundhog, I apologize. Kyle pointed that out to me. I thought I fixed that Discord link on the website. I'll take another link at that. For whatever reason, I'm the webmaster. Don't ask me why. But we will get that addressed for you, my friend.
Yep, MidwestPreparednessProject.com. If you look it up on all social media by the same name, it's on Facebook, Discord, MeWe. The MeWe's kind of dead. I pretty much run the Discord. Patrick manages the Facebook. But you can also find us on YouTube as well. Speaking of, real quick, if I may, we're porting this to my old channel, which used to be called Spags Unfiltered. And this is my plea. If you are still one of the 1,620 people that somehow has magically held on to my old YouTube channel that I don't do anything selfishly on anymore, I would ask that you go to Midwest Preparedness Project, the channel you're watching now, and subscribe to that. That is where I'm throwing all of my attention, all of my energy, and all of my time into anymore instead of individual pursuits. So if you're watching this at some point on the old Spags Unfiltered channel, please go over to Midwest Preparedness Project and subscribe there.
Thank you. Thank you for that heartfelt plea, SSG Spags. And he is correct. We do this as a labor of love. None of us are paid actors. None of us are paid crisis actors. That one time it didn't count. Like, we were experimenting, so don't hold it against us.
Say no to drugs, kids.
I thought
Say no to drugs that do drugs, kids.
I thought the part of my life was behind me, but apparently the internet is vast and deep. So, moving right along, it is 9. We're coming up on 30 minutes into the hour. Generally speaking, we typically do a show sponsor, and this evening's show is brought to us by a special guest.
Yes.
I'm looking at them now.
Yes, our event tonight, this particular event, is brought to you by Bordner. And it just so happens that 2 of the people that work for Bordner are here in the room with us right now, Kyle and Brian. Kyle, tell us about Bordner. Bordner is one of our newest sponsors, and I would be lying if I say they have not been just pouring ridiculous amounts of material support into what we're doing. So tell us about Bordner real quick.
Yeah, Bobby, thanks so much. So I stumbled into Bordner about 9 years ago. I was working digital marketing gigs online, got really feral, And Angelica said, you have to find a job where you have to leave the house or I quit.
That's fair.
And through divine providence, I was looking for another job, put my resume on Indeed. Bordner reached out to me. And it's been a really cool company to work for. The three Fleener brothers put this whole outfit together about 38 years ago. One of their sons and son-in-laws now runs it. Brian came alongside of us. Is it 4 years now?
2019.
19, right?
Oof.
Yeah, so almost
Nice.
6. So we've had a great run with Bordner, continuing to work with them. It's a full-on anywhere from all the way Columbia, Missouri, the Ozarks, St. Joseph, all the way down to Wichita, Topeka. It's a full-service roofing, siding, windows, and bathroom remodel company. And one of the things that just sets us apart is that we are people-focused. It's really cool. The owners have given certain of us managers and supervisors a budget to bless customers with and to fix problems with, no questions asked.
Nice.
And it's really cool because we get to sell, Brian and I, we get to fix the people's problems on their homes, but we're literally given budgets for, hey, make this person happy. Hey, fix this. This was our fault. In the middle of actually doing contractor work, and it really breaks the mold. You've got two men with their father-in-law, and uncle who put 38 years into just a crazy, ridiculous company where we're able to serve people all over the metro. Great company to work for. I never want to leave. I'd like to retire here.
It's a real community-based approach to doing this sort of thing versus the old days of the old storm chasers who just showed up, tried to contact your insurance, took your money, and ran.
Yeah.
You guys are doing it. You guys are doing it the right way.
Yeah. We don't take their money. We work on their roof. We give them the estimate first, the photos, let them make that decision, and then we fight their insurance for every dollar, make sure they get everything, and then we move through the build process and still put a warranty on it. You've got a lot of roofers who go out, get the insurance money, put the cheapest shingle on as possible, give them a 5-year warranty. We're doing 50-year warranties.
Ooh.
We're doing class 4 shingles that are going to be rated for 140 mile an hour winds.
Yep.
So that you don't have to call us on the next storm. I don't want you to be my customer again.
Yep.
And the owners just make it such a, we've said the word community a lot tonight. Bordner is a family business that grew, and they didn't keep like the family awkwardness. They actually kept the, hey, we're equal family at the table here regardless. Just a great company to work with.
Sounds like Midwest Preparedness Project, but a whole lot cooler.
A lot more paychecks.
A lot more paychecks. Do you guys get?
You guys get paid?
You guys get paid?
You get paid?
So,
I guess I'm eating the can of corn now live on TV.
Overland Park, Kansas, Raytown, Missouri based. These cats are all over the place. So if our Wichita contingent friends, you got hammered with that softball-sized hail, you know who to call.
Yep.
These gentlemen right here will drop their information in the links and comment section afterwards.
Well, not just that, but they have been in Wichita this week. They have come back to our area of the woods now 2 days in a row because they're working with us on the festival. They walked the new campgrounds with us yesterday, and today they drove all the way back again to do this. So if you need that service, understand these people are giving of their time, their resources, their sweat equity. They're actually putting in the time and they're putting in the effort. So they're not fake. If you need that service, please. These people support us, and they put like 12 hours with a road time on just to hang out with us for 2 straight days while working their real job. So that's something to keep in mind.
Don't make it sound too
Here's the
terrible,
corner.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Don't make it sound too terrible.
Here's the
Brian and I are just racing out there.
Are you not entertained? All right. That was a shameless plug on our part. We do not apologize for nothing.
No, in the Dearborn Muslim community, a dollar circles 17 times in that community before it leaves. It's high time that preparedness and homesteading communities did the same damn thing and put their monies within their own communities.
Amen.
Screw Amazon, screw all that stuff. I know it's convenient and fun, and we all use it sometimes, but if you know someone local who will do it for $5 more because they can't buy 5 billion items in bulk, you should be spending your money with them. Thus, end of the sermon.
You heard SSG Spags. Do the thing. All of you internet people, do the thing. So, moving right along, we will go back to, we did Riverside Will. We did Multicam Will let's open it up. So after that wonderful shameless plug, let's do a bonus question. And I will open this up so that any cast member this evening jumps on the grenade first. Don't all jump at the same time, though. So, again, in the spirit of not it, I'll just take the answer to whoever jumps on this first. All right, this is a great one. This is a good one. Everybody tells me my bonus. Anyways.
The greatest questions, and China's going to pay for it.
So, the ultimate question, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy says that the answer to life, the
42.
universe,
42.
and everything is 42. We all know that. That's an easy one. Even Lucy knows
The
that.
dog agrees.
Lucy agrees. But that being said, in a without rule of law scenario, if you had to define your own 42, the single principle or resource worth fighting for above all else, what would that be?
Family.
Ooh, I like that. That was a quick one. You guys, you heard that. So,
And you guys are now a part of my family.
word. Crisp high fives all around. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Rear side wheel. Don't leave me hanging.
Come on, Will.
Oh, yeah. Look at there. Family. That's a great answer. Why do you say family?
Well, without family, what do we have? You know, it's solo. I guess we probably have some snipers out there. So I don't want to dog on those guys.
The lone wolves.
The lone wolves. But
The cream corn eaters.
Without family, who's fighting for the cream corn? You know?
Not Robbie.
Not Bobby. I think just the faith, hope, and love comes to mind with love being the most, and it's the love for your family. You know, so if we all love each other, why not fight for each other?
Faith, family, and fellowship. Those are our
Amen.
pillars.
Amen.
I love it. That's a fantastic answer. Man, like we're going to hang out in the garage and do karate afterwards. I can already tell.
Just don't touch his drum set.
Hey, you know what? I've got my own drum set, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody else want to tackle that one? You want to define your 42?
I want to tag on to that. I think family encompasses it really good. But Brian and I were talking recently because we've actually had to relocate an office to Wichita, supplies, people. But we've been talking about how to manage people and, get the most results out of them. Your job is transactional. And in a survival scenario, a lot of things become transactional. And then there's that layer of, but I've known this guy since before the apocalypse, or I've known this person since before that. And values become jaded.
Right.
And kind of the commitment a lot of tribes are bringing to the table here is that I'm going to be valuable. Don't leave me behind. I've got this. I've got the cash. I've got the stuff. I've got the ammo. I've got the this or that, or the skills. Even getting that layer deeper. I think it's something to be said that like the hardest decisions are going to be who is family.
Yes.
Quantifying family.
Quantifying that again.
Right.
Brian and a few of my other guys over in Lee Summit, we have started. There's been a lot of dynamics that put from a divine providence standpoint us all together, and so people they look at Brian or me and a few others. We all do kind of look similar, and people are like, "Oh, you're brothers," and we're like, "By choice, not by blood."
Yeah.
Yep.
And we've actually started to think through that. Like, is it the value you bring, or is it the intrinsic value I see in you?
Bingo.
Yeah.
Bravo. Because there's two sides of that coin. There's the family that you're born into, and then there's the family that you choose.
Yeah.
That's a well said sentiment. I think I will accept that answer.
Yep.
Anybody else want to touch that one? What does 42?
Spiritual faith.
Oh, there you go. So family, faith,
Yeah,
spiritual
if you don't
faith.
have a spiritual faith, you got to have hope. You got to have some kind of belief system. I mean, it all ties into family, that kind of stuff. But if you don't have any kind of spiritual faith, and then you get demoralized, I mean, the spiritual faith can be your that light on the hill. That could be what keeps you going, because that's going to give you the faith. That's going to give you the perseverance to keep the family unit together. It's going to give you the will to keep like your extended family going. Kind of help you, and through their faith also, I think it helps you maybe determine roles within the group too. It's like, okay, my faith, it's like you reach out, well, this guy's good at maybe, carpentry work. This guy's good at doing some gardening type stuff. And by working that all together with faith, it's spiritual faith. It keeps it all together. It gives you cohesiveness. Because if you don't have that cohesiveness, you don't have anything. Then the family's going to fall apart. You don't have any cohesiveness. So I think spiritual faith is extremely important in a situation like that.
Yeah, the key word that you said in all of that was hope. And in that faith, hope is a divine inspiration because as the experiments they've done on mice have shown, it is interesting to see that when a scientist will take a mouse and drop it into a tank of water, and they'll rescue the mouse after a few minutes, and then take a different mouse and drop it in there and not rescue it. That mouse will soon get tired and drown. They'll take the other mouse that they rescued, plop him back in the water, and he'll swim for hours, sometimes days, because he's got that hope in the back of his mind that he's going to get rescued, that they're going to pluck him out of the water. So hope is a powerful tool.
Yep.
It's a very powerful
What
tool.
gives you that hope?
That's having that spiritual faith. They have faith that the divine hand is going to reach in and pluck them from the waters.
Nihilism will fail the apocalypse, guys. If you don't think there's any reason to anything you do, and you don't think that there's any higher calling, again, I'm not going to call out brands. I'm not going to call out I'm not going to put a Nike swoosh on this or anything, but nihilism and hedonism will die in the apocalypse. If all you do is self-serve and all you do is think it's pointless and I'm just going to have fun in my last few minutes, you're not going to make it very far.
I feel sorry for you. This is why we play without rule of law, so that we can find who those people are and make sure that our shot group's tight and that our circle is tighter and that our family is well defined. Huzzah, gentlemen. Great answers. Great answers. See, this is what we bring you guys, the top-notch panelist to Midwest Apprentice Project Without Rule of Law. Okay, moving right along. Huzzah,
I will pretend to be top-notch for one more night.
hell yeah.
Will.
Cheers.
The Todd Notch.
Okay,
Oh, the Todd notch.
Bobby,
Yeah.
back to you.
Oh, boy.
So, SSG Spags. Some people say that barter is the new economy when systems collapse. This is right up your alley.
Yep.
What's your prediction? Ammo, alcohol, or antibiotics as the top currency after a collapse?
Right after will be alcohol. We've already seen this play out in Bosnia. There used to be the survivalist boards back in the 90s, back before any of us used the word prepper. And that famous guy who survived the Bosnian and the Serb, the whole thing with the Bosnians and the Serbs and the ethnic cleanses, he said the three top things that became barterable within days were alcohol, cigarettes, and means to make fire. So if you have Bic lighters, if you've got airplane bottles of vodka specifically or whiskey, and you have cigarettes, you're golden. And then from that point, you can move and project that
Build your empire.
material wealth. Again, every decision is an economic decision. One of our watchers tonight even echoed that sentiment that I used to say all the time on the old channel. Every single decision you make is an economic decision, regardless of how much you think it has to do with anything else. It doesn't. It's all economic, purely. It's a metric of gains and losses and time in and time out. And economics doesn't mean money. It also means time, blood, sweat equity, energy, all of those things. And I can barter you a Bic lighter that I spent 50 cents for in 2015 from Costco for a lot less than you're going to try to barter me antibiotics for. Because when you think antibiotics, you're going to think dollar amount you paid. When I think fire, I'm thinking you can hit this 200 times to make fire. I want all that ammo for this one lighter, and I'm probably going to come out on top of that decision.
Yeah, good luck eating your silver bars in the apocalypse, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, silver should be like number 7 or 8 down the line. I'm a huge fan of precious metals, but it is not where you start, man. Booze, cigarettes, fire. That's where you start for your barter stock, and you move from there.
Yep. To those of you in the audience that have not experienced it yet, come to the Midwest Preparedness Project Festival in a few weeks. You will get a top-notch grade A lesson in bartering at Bartertown, where you will say, but I paid this much for that.
Yep.
And someone's going to say, I don't care how much you paid for it.
Yep.
Do you want this or not?
Yep. And to Shan's point about ammo, think of this. Initially, you will never trade your ammo. You're not going to potentially give the seeds of freedom to the guy you just traded with to then turn around, load it, and take back what he just gave you for that ammo. You're not trading ammo right away. At some point, trading will normalize. At some point, you will be trading all the things. Right. Once the morality has resurfaced, once the structure has resurfaced, once the hierarchy has resurfaced, and I'm sorry, Once the patriarchy has resurfaced to keep you safe, then you're going to trade your ammo. Then you're going to trade your silver, because at that point you would have been trading booze, cigarettes, and fire the whole time and stayed very, very well safe.
Yeah, I think there's a lesson about beating your swords into plowshares somewhere in there, folks.
Somewhere in there, yep.
The key
Very
here,
good to know. Very good to know.
The key here is relative value.
Right.
You want something that has low relative value to you and high relative value to everyone else or anyone else.
Yep.
Bobby, I think about all the viral products that came out before COVID.
Oh, yeah.
Fidget spinners,
Uh-huh.
those weird skateboards with the one wheels.
Yep.
There was a marketing churn of viral appropriation of things.
Yeah.
And that'll be the conditions we'll be kind of fighting against or creating.
Right. It'll be the reverse boredom. Be how do I stay alive instead of stay entertained? And yeah, you're going to have some weird things come out of that. Yeah.
Like, what can you do with a big lighter?
Right.
There's going to be a lot of other things that
They're going to be attaching them to bows and arrows and trying to make incendiary arrows and all this other stuff, or, those weird flash traps you put a 12 gauge blank in. People will be using lighters for all sorts of stuff. And they'll be using booze and cigarettes to calm themselves after they have figured out what to do with that lighter.
We're going to try to keep this show a little tight for you guys. We're going to run it a little bit after the hour and let you guys get to bed on a normal time. These guys got to get back to Wichita. So I'm going to ask a handful more. I've got some really good questions picked out. We're going to go to, in order, Kyle, Todd, then Brian next, and then pivot to Will, maybe for one of the last questions. I'm going to Kyle. Kyle, as a mag leader, would you take in strangers under without rule of law, or shut the gates and protect your own?
Man, it's such a situational question. I think there has to be a vetting process to know whether those strangers can be gauged to be of any value or what their character is. If there's during that time any way to gauge the character, the background, the intentions of those strangers, I think a vetting process is important. If there isn't, then it is turn those strangers away. You have yourself and people to protect.
That is a fine edge in that question. It's a trick question. We ask this question every year around the campfire, and inevitably someone says, "Shoot him in the face." But it is a trick question, because there's always the what if that hangs out in the back of your mind. What if that person at the gate is a scout looking to see how much food, ammo, protection, guard rotations, etc. you have? What if that person is just there to find out how many ammo seeds you're willing to trade, Shin Man, or how much booze you have in your stock? What if that person is an enemy at the gates disguised as a starving mother? It's always the question, and inevitably somebody says, I would give them my last, ham sandwich to feed the starving mom and the kids. And someone else says, well, you're a fool because fill in the blank. But that's a great question. It is a tough one to answer.
It's so tough. You've got to figure out a way to mitigate the risk.
Yeah.
And I've even heard one of our friends, we won't use his last name, but Chris, has even toyed around with the idea of you have a 2-part compound.
Yep.
And publicly, here is where unvetted people are aware of.
So like a quarantine zone.
Mm-hmm.
Triage.
A character quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You got to be careful, because again, in the mindset of character over skills, skills over supply over fill in the blank.
Right.
People will lie. You don't often see a person's true character until the dating phase is over, and then you go, aha, damn, I wish I'd have known that before I jumped into bed with them, but now it's too late.
And speaking of that, the honest truth is there's a good 50% of the population. This answer is completely dependent on how lonely they are and how hot she is.
You don't have to be lonely.
Just saying. Or vice versa, how lonely she is, how hot he is, man. I mean, go live by yourself for 7.5 months and figure out what it's like to have your Spalding, ball and talking to seagulls. Just saying, man. Wilson, yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to give that any playtime. But
Just so you all know, the reference Bobby is making is not to the Tom Hanks pedophile movie. It is about Bobby's time in Iraq, where him and Jane. Never mind.
Jane.
Yourself.
Oh, got it.
Oh.
All right, yeah.
Okay.
G.I. Jane?
Yep.
Yeah, so anyways, moving right along. The Todd.
Yes, sir.
All right, this is another one. So we've handled so far the ultimate question. We've handled the apocalypse. We're going to jump to something more relevant in this current day and age. So Todd, are you aware of the Atlas comet that is impending and soon to kill us all here in November? Good. So this question is a complete mystery to you. So there is allegedly a ginormous object that they've now named Atlas 3L or 3I. I'm not sure which one it is. That deep space probes have detected that is ginormous, the size of Manhattan, speeding toward the Earth at 125,000 miles plus per hour. And once it entered our solar system, it changed course.
And it now has engines, apparently.
They are detecting exhaust vents on this thing as it is heading between the Earth and Mars in the next 2 months. So right after the October and the festival, by the way.
I want to believe.
Come to the festival first.
Yeah.
Get geared up and get knowledge up,
prepared.
folks.
Sam, bring all of that ammo and I'll barter it for some antibiotics. Oh, or a tasty can of cream corn. This might be the last. This might be like the Twinkies in the zombie movie.
Can we get a
Just
gold
saying.
chain around it so you can like wear it?
Ooh, I like where this is
corn.
headed.
Yes.
Yeah, get my corn, boy. Okay, so Todd,
Yes, sir.
if the incoming celestial body wasn't a rock, but a fleet, even better, it's the Anunnaki.
Anunnaki.
Returning to reclaim Earth, would you fight to resist? Would you attempt, if you were picked to be the diplomat, the person that was chosen to interface, like, you're the Todd, right? It could happen.
Makes sense. Mr. Todd, yeah.
Would you attempt? Would you fight? Would you rally the people in a Bill Paxton? I can't remember what his name was in the Independence Day movie. Would you attempt diplomacy, or would you bow down and adapt under the new God King rule?
No LARPing answers.
Well, to me, it's first of all, okay.
What is that noise?
Is that a squirrel in your pocket?
Huh? No, it was me typing. Sorry.
Okay, to me, it's okay. It's there's got to be some reconnaissance of some sort into this, okay? Because I mean, they're coming in. You don't know what. I mean, obviously they might be advanced, but how advanced are they? Do they just are they? You know, because.
Todd, they're traveling across the universe, bro.
Okay.
They're way more advanced.
So were the
than us.
bugs in Starship Troopers, and they just put themselves on a rock and farted
Right.
themselves in the general direction of the planet.
And
So
there's a book, and I'm going to do a reference to a book that's called The High Crusade by Paul Anderson, and where a bunch of medieval knights got onto the spaceship, and next thing they go somewhere else, and they end up basically taking over the worlds there. So
That's trippy.
So it's a great movie. It's a great
367
book.
or-
No, it's called Paul Anderson. It was called The High Crusade.
Okay.
It's funny as all. Okay, but that's got beyond the point. But I guess what I'm saying is, do some kind of reconnaissance, because I mean, you see like War of the Worlds, the Martians supposedly come by, but they all died because of the common cold. So I mean, to me, it's a matter of doing some reconnaissance, trying to find out what their actual cause. If they are, are they malevolent? Are they want to come in here and destroy us and eat us or something? Then of course I'd sit there and try to fight back. There's no sense. I don't want to be on somebody else's dinner plate. But at the same time, are they? Is there something about them that we could take advantage of or something like that? So I mean, to me, it's a number of things. It's you don't have enough details, and I know that's the purpose of WROL. Is I don't have enough details to make a concrete answer.
she's hot.
Ooh.
Mhm.
I can't.
So yeah, what if she looks like what is the girl from the
The second Men in Black, she takes on the Victoria's Secret
No,
model.
no,
She's
no,
like,
no, the
oh,
Resident Evil movies. What is the girl in the Fifth Element?
oh yeah, her.
Yeah.
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, no,
something.
Mila Jovovich. Like she's in the giant spacesuit, but then
We're gonna die.
they blow her up.
He's not gonna die. See, that's a non-laughing answer. That's an honest answer.
So
I guess I'm gonna front for 5 minutes on
So-
this thing.
Diana, you're not listening. Plug your ears, Diana. You're saying that he would vigorously like engage in diplomacy. Oh gosh, I cannot.
Diplomatic approaches for a 5-minute segment
Oh.
of time.
Oh,
He would vigorously
Go for
engage in
speed, baby.
diplomacy.
Go for speed.
oh my
Yeah.
Cane corn's back on the menu.
Oh man, local prepper. Yes, one person is watching.
What's up, LP?
Yes, thank you, LP. We appreciate that. And Chan, you're right. Todd, you should just hide. You're screwed, bro. Game over. Game over, man.
By the way, if you don't know who Local Prepper is, you need to go check out his channel. He's one of my longest friends on the YouTube circuit. He's a great preparedness asset. Go check LP out.
Yeah, not to call him out or anything, but one of these times he's going to actually show up to our festival and hang out with us. Just saying.
Yeah. We talk. So we'll see.
We know a celebrity. His name's LP. He's live at 9. Okay, live at 9. Got it. All right, moving on. Brian. So without rule of law scenario, does the leader of a group have to be ruthless to survive or compassionate to thrive?
Compassionate to thrive.
Why?
Kind of echoing what Kyle was saying earlier, where with compassion comes wisdom, comes patience, comes the ability to see people and their strengths and where to put them and when. So that all of those things are going to be important when there's no rule of law. If you don't, then you're just going full steam ahead, blind to what's happening and what's around you.
Yeah.
And you, like a rocket, Elon Musk can contest that it doesn't end well, so.
I think there's compassion and empathy for saying no to people too,
Yeah. Non-enabling compassion.
Yeah, I love both of those answers. I love all of those answers, and I would follow through with that and saying most people misunderstand what compassion is.
Yes.
Your perspective is unique to you, and unfortunately, the rest of the world gives nothing in terms of care for what you think. That's just the long and short of it. So in the same contrast, Vlad the Impaler was compassionate, and in putting 1,000 heads on pikes, he saved hundreds of thousands of lives by instilling fear in his enemies. And some would say the guy was brutal, and I'm not condoning his behavior, but some would say what he did was brutal. But in his mind, he was being compassionate to those lives he spared.
Yes.
So again, it's in the eye of the beholder. So as you define your compassion, I would tend to agree with you. A compassionate leader is probably a wiser, more devout leader.
Yep. It's kind of like the atomic bomb.
Yep.
Sometimes you have to do things you don't want to do to save lives.
What was the movie with Daniel Craig where he was leading the Jewish resistance away from the Nazis? And at one point,
the Russian movie.
The
Russians.
They were Jewish and they were hiding
Russian
in World
Jews.
War II, and they're on the
Right.
road. And at one point, one of the people didn't like how he was rationing food and tried to lead an insurrection. And right there in front of everybody, without hesitation, SMG'd him right to the ground. Retained control of the group. Everyone survived because his leadership was strong. There are going to be times in a world without rule of law where compassion means doing the most brutal things possible.
Yeah.
But if you lead with brutality, again, Vikings went extinct, the Mongrels went extinct, the Moors went extinct for a reason, and it was because they led with brutality.
Yeah.
When your resource of choice is brutality,
Right.
versus this is all I have left.
Yep. Be a loving husband, but have a strong pimp hand.
Keep that baby powder in your pocket.
That's the simplest way to put it. If I was put in that situation, if we're all on the same island together, I'm going to roll like Gideon. I will be strong when it comes time to be strong, and when the time is done, I will lay down my spear and I will retire to my bed and die like an old man.
I think Riverside Will has something to add here.
Will, lay it on us. Give us some truth, justice, and the American way.
We talked about this at the last camp out, but there's a verse that's in the Bible about being meek, and we have a real strong proclivity to take that word out of context and think it means like weak.
Right.
Meekness is having a sword and knowing when not to pull it out of the sheath.
Yeah.
As good Christian men, as leaders, you need to understand that violence, that aggression, that ability to take a life, that ability to hurt, to damage, is a valuable tool that you should only use when wisdom dictates that it ought to be used at that point. Do not strike out of anger. Do not do it out of hatred. You have to make a wise decision. But the other very important side of that, the opposite side of that is you need to have that sword. That sword is an important part of your equipment. If you do not have that sword, you will be taken. You need to have that sword. But it's equally important that you only unsheath it when wisdom dictates that it should be unsheathed.
Love it. Love it. Love it. As always, Will is imparting grace upon us with his infinite wisdom. Speaking of Will, let's do a couple more, and then we're going to call it a night and let these guys get home in a decent hour. Will, actually, no. We were going to do Bobby next, right? We're doing it.
Yeah, pick on Bobby.
Get
Get Bobby. Get him.
I'm just a support role here. I'm like the Gerber here.
Let's
Get
see,
him, not me. Get him.
I've got two there, 2 there. Everyone's got 2 so far. Let's do cream corn again. Bobby, if you had to cut half of your group loose in a true without rule of law situation to keep the rest alive, how would you choose who stays and who goes in your current version?
Whoever enjoys cream corn or not.
Bro.
That's it right there.
I didn't even have to answer.
This is why many hands makes light work.
Geez, that's tough. Because as Kyle said earlier, you're going to view family through a skewed lens. You will. You're going to have favorites. You're going to have emotions. A wise leader is able to divorce the emotion and look at things from a purely economic standpoint of who brings worth. But a real human being is going to say, who is my child? Who is my wife? Who is my father-in-law? Who is my uncle? This is why I think a real group is not led by one individual. I'm not saying you have to rule by council because communism is for homos and stuff, but you should certainly have wise people that you draw. If you're the leader of a group, draw some wisdom from on that, because you are going to have to continuously not only fight the group, but yourself to figure out what's best for the group, which is what is best for yourself. But at the end of the day, man, the right answer, the logical, non-emotional answer is who brings value. And that is where there may be a time as the leader of your group, if you can't make that decision, you're like, fine, maybe it's my kid who's the worthless one. Maybe it's my spouse who's the worthless one. I will now self-exile and stay with my wife and kids, take the group, and you divert to someone else and you move on.
So execution in this scenario is dependent upon not necessarily loyalty, but necessity.
Yeah. I mean, if it's that bad of a situation, I'm not going to be the person who advocates on one hand to execute the one dude who can purify water and the one dude who can figure out how to wire up a battery to a solar panel. But at the same point, I'm also not going to advocate for the execution of my own family because they happen to be the dead weight at the time.
Yeah.
You have to know when to just revert and say, you know what, it's not my decision to make. I can't make this decision. And if my family goes, I'm staying with them. And you have to throw the ultimatum down one way or the other here. It's not easy.
That leverage of value too, Bobby. Like if you were one of only a few leaders with great perspective and them having to make that decision, like, hey, there's a little bit of dead weight here, but I'm leading you.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Right. You could.
And
then,
the first thing you might start with is who wants to go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
There might be an opportunity to get rid of.
You might. I would guess the most worthless people would be the least likely to go. Just saying, man. Just saying.
Lizzie, no. Okay, we'll do one more, and then we're going to call it a night, guys, ladies and gals, and close out for you. This is going to go to the open group at large. We'll let anyone jump on this grenade. So
start with Will. He threw me under the bus.
Yeah, do it.
Will, if you choose to jump on this grenade, you do so at your own peril. All right. Picture a massive asteroid on a collision course for Earth, and Bruce Willis now has dementia and he can't save a soul.
Damn it. Damn you, Demi Moore.
One second. You had a couple other people in that spaceship too that can do it.
Yeah, but we don't care about that. All we care about is Bruce Willis. Die hard! Die hard! So there's no Armageddon situation where Bruce Willis or a hero team collaborate to save us, Todd.
Okay.
In a real world situation, would you rather spend your last days preparing to fight for survival after impact, or just accept fate and make peace with your family before the lights go out? You're going to spend your time sharpening your knives and inventorying your cream corn, or you're going to make good with your old lady and your kids and hold hands and sing Kumbaya?
We are in the unique position of cheating this question, right? Everyone in this call is in the unique position of cheating on this question, right? Because all of us have sharp knives, already know how much cream corn we have. The correct answer is 0, I think, because I don't have any. Hopefully that doesn't make me target number 1. I was joking before the call about getting some just so I could mess with Bobby, but we'll see. That stated, making yourself right with those around you, with the Lord. You have the blessing of knowing that you could potentially die soon. I mean, the way the question is phrased, it also makes me think there's this like kind of weight of you don't know whether or not you'll be a person who happens to get hit by the asteroid, so you don't know whether or not you will survive the initial impact. That being the case, I mean, make yourself right with the Lord, make yourself right with your family, make sure that you're happy with and content with the fact that you might die in, whenever this asteroid hits. And if you happen to survive, then just take solace in the fact that you prepared for that for the last, I don't know, since you were 7 or whatever. Like, I don't think my last hours of preparation are going to matter in comparison to years. And when everyone else is doing it, I don't think there's any real value add at that point. All my value add potential was years ago. All my value add potential was before the asteroid got announced that it was going to hit. At this point, the only value add I have anymore is to say, all right, I'm cool with dying now. I've said goodbye to my loved ones, or at the very least, we are all amicable, and I've settled any grievances I may have with everyone, and I've made myself right with the Lord, and I'm good to go.
Take your kid fishing one last time, man.
Yeah. I love that because, if you don't recall in the movie Armageddon, Morgan Freeman stayed in the White House and died. He didn't get in Air Force 2. And young Frodo jumped on a motorcycle and rode it up a hill and survived with his girlfriend and some random stranger's baby.
That was Impact.
Is that Impact?
That was Impact.
Am I blending the two?
Yep.
Okay, so again, the point's still the same. There's a chance you might survive if you've got a dirt bike and...
You can outride the tidal wave.
It's an asteroid, right? I mean, if it hits you direct on, it's not like you're just going to be like, no, I decide not to die today. No,
right, true story, yeah.
It doesn't matter. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Hey, man, if anyone here has played the game Fallout 76 online, you know that there's an achievement in the game. When someone drops a nuke in the game, if you run to the middle and allow yourself to get hit, you unlock an achievement on PlayStation. So just unlock your achievement and have a good time.
Yeah, everybody out there, Bobby's saying the 2 things that will survive in the apocalypse are 1, obviously cockroaches, and 2, cream corn.
Instead of trading bottle caps, we'll just be trading cream corn.
It's gonna be a thing now. We built this into lore.
It's yum yum deviled eggs.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and close out tonight's Without Rule of Law. We'd like to give thanks to our special guest in the studio this evening, the crew from Bordner Roofing. Thank you, gentlemen. As always, the one and only the Todd.
The Todd.
Our wonderful, knowledgeable Riverside Will, otherwise known as Grandolph the Camo.
Grandolph.
Grandolph.
Wait a minute. He just had his first kid. This is a little premature.
Oh, yeah, no, not yet, buddy. I'm sorry.
Grandolph the Camo. And obviously, my VP and MC, Mr. Bobby SSG Spags. So, again, we got Ronan over here. You guys see Ronan? Say hi, Ronan. Ronan's now a YouTube star.
That's the kid I'm taking fishing if the asteroid's coming. We're just going to go enjoy our last few minutes together.
True story, true story. Bobby, you want to bring us home with a couple of announcements?
Yeah, let's do a couple of things real quick. You might have seen a channel commenting in our live tonight called The Bearded Bluster. We don't know what that's about, but it might be something worth checking out. Just go take a look. Remember that the Midwest Preparedness Project's Fall Festival is going to be October 24th through 28th at Clinton Lake. Go to MidwestPreparednessProject.com, all social media of the same name. If you are on the Spags Unfiltered channel, please leave the channel. I'm not doing anything with it. Go to Midwest Preparedness. Go to see the mags at Topeka and Lee Summit. Check out all the things we're doing. Don't forget, we are a part of a greater project called the Great American Preparedness Tour. We are bringing Norman Rockwell alive back to you. We are rebuilding Americana. We are rebuilding a tour where you can travel the country and spend your vacation days doing something other than looking at mountains with rocks carved in shapes of faces or water farting out of the ground. You can actually go and get some knowledge, get some fellowship, get some friends, and do some cool stuff. And don't forget that Self-Reliance Festival will be the next show on the Great American Preparedness Tour, October 4th and 5th in Camden, Tennessee. I will be leaving immediately from Midwest Preparedness Project and heading to Camden, Tennessee to MC with Nicole Sauce, my Midwest or my Great American Preparedness Tour bestie, and you will see me there. So 2 weekends in a row, you get to come out and meet me, see what we're doing, and be part of the magic. Don't forget that if you are in the Kansas City greater area, we now have the Lee Summit Mag headed by Kyle, Brian, and Chris. And don't forget, if you're in the Topeka greater area, that Patrick runs the Topeka Mag. So be sure to see all the magic, all the things. Get off your ass, get off the couch, stop being comfortable, and do something with your life. That's it.
Bravo, bravo. All right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you in a couple of weeks at the Midwest Preparedness Project 25th Anniversaries Festival. Have a great night. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Good night, everybody.